Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Forever World. Today's video is different. I already had a video of the same thing, except OBS updated, and I did not add my microphone to the setting, so there was no audio for that video, but I'm gonna keep it up because I think it's funny. Anyway, I was thinking about what Minecraft needs. And so I have a bunch of blocks here, which are all villager profession blocks, really. A little tight fit right there. And then these. And these. So as you know, Minecraft has added a bunch of stuff, and they've changed their updating format. And a long time ago, they said they weren't going to have variants of things. So no mob variants, no block variants, etc., etc. But now they're adding variants back in. They're adding drowned zombies, they're adding husk zombies that were a long time ago, bogged skeletons, and whatnot. And so, it'd be nice if, as well as mob variants, they added block variants, especially for these blocks, because, well, the stone-based ones are kind of hard to replicate, especially this one, because it's kind of like black stone and mangrove-ish. Not really, but yeah, those two are kind of hard to do, as well as this one. But there are a bunch more wood variants, like this one resembles birch, oak, spruce. I'm gonna say this one kind of looks like jungle wood, but not really. But just to show it, that's the only block I actually have on me that has a resemblance. I'm in the mesa, so there's not a lot of wood out here anyway. But there's also bookshelves, language, words, English. Bookshelves I would love to have variants of so much, so badly. I don't have any in those chests. That's rough. But it would be so nice to have more of those. Also, there is no villager stations that have crimson oak or the warped oak wood as a wood base for them. And so I have ideas. It's raining, don't mind that. But first among my ideas is bricks. It's nice to have bricks. These don't have as much variations as stone. Maybe I shouldn't have actually put that stone cutter away. I'll go grab it, and we can grab some stone as well, and just look. But as you can see, there's chiseled, there's bricks, and then there's normal, and there's walls. Bricks don't have all that fun jazz to spice up bricks. They only have slabs, stairs, and walls. They don't have a chiseled variant. They don't have different colors, which I don't hate that they're kind of the same color across the board. I know some texture packs change it so bricks change colors. But one of the things, especially in the village, the Mesa town that me and my boyfriend are working on, is I'd like chiseled and cracked bricks, because this is a bank, and it's kind of a cowboy town, so you can assume that some robbers or I don't know who would come in here and try to break open the vault. And so there's shown here is kind of a cracked vault, showing that people have tried to break in and or possibly have, but it would be nice if we could have cracked brick in here as well, to just have that extra depth to the backstory right there. And so that is one of the things I would like particularly. Another one is there is archaeology and pottery now. I think, no, I have them in my inventory. So we have pottery shards, and you can get them from archaeology. But archaeology is only in some specific places, and so I think they should update structures. Because there could be pillager variants of these, nether versions of these. That's especially one of the ones I want to talk about, because you could have suspicious soul sand in the nether. There's already gravel in the nether, so you could add suspicious gravel into, like, the piglin bastions, the nether fortress. Maybe have, like, a ruined nether fortress with lore and stuff. And going along with that, all pots are basically the same as normal terracotta, but terracotta has colors. There's light gray, brown, there's orange, yellow, green, blue, so on. And you can't color the pots. But it would also be cool if you could color the shards, so the inside of whatever you make it look like. So this pickaxe, how it looks darker, could be like a darker red if you dye it red or something. That'd be so fun. But those are just my small ideas for right now. So I'm gonna put those back where they came from. And these kind of go everywhere. It's organized chaos in here. But on top of that, while me and my boyfriend have been building a mesa town, I have run into a problem that is not nice to solve on Java Edition, which is, I prefer Java Edition. I like sitting at the computer. I used to do Bedrock on my Xbox, but I'm not much of an Xbox gamer now. Once I tried computer, I liked it much better. But this right here is a fixed resource. There's no way to get red sand unless I go over to a different mesa and totally terraform it down and steal all the red sand and red sandstone. So those two are kind of fixed resources, especially if I want the chiseled red sandstone texture. I don't get it. So you can see right there the darker spots right there and over there. I just took sand from those and moved it over here to expand this mesa biome. And it'd be really nice if villagers could trade red sand, because I just need more red sand, and I don't want to tear down a mesa biome just to get red sand. I'm pretty sure there's a crafting recipe where you can dye it in Bedrock or one of the other versions of Minecraft, but not in Java. So all this red sand past that kind of terraformed curve right there, I have added in and dug around from other mesa around the area, and even turned this river into some. And I would like to use more. Like over here, I don't have red sandstone, but over here a ways, I did use it in my initial draft of the river, and I'd like to use more of it. But having it be a fixed resource, not fun to gather or find at all. So that would be nice. And also, stonemasons, I have a couple stonemasons in here to keep them safe during nights in case we don't sleep, which has happened lately, and I'll show you why later. But these guys, they trade you terracotta. Two different variants of terracotta that always change in between the villagers, but they only give you one per emerald, and it's kind of the same deal of, I really need a bunch of terracotta here for wanting to do this mesa biome stuff, and I don't want to tear the whole biome down just to rebuild it. And so it would be nice if these guys gave me more, like 1 for 4, like these, like polished andesite and dripstone, but they don't. I could understand the glazed one if it was kept at 1, but not normal. It's annoying. Anyway, so, and you can only trade for like 16 of those a day. So I get 16 after their morning routine trade fix, and then the afternoon. Well, it's not even 16, it's more like 12 or 14. And then I get the same amount in the afternoon if I keep up on trading with them every time their trade stock comes back, and then one more at night. But that's not even a stack a day from a villager. That's like 48 or less blocks of terracotta a day from the villagers. Not nice. Anyway, back to Nether archaeology and pottery sherds, which I put away. I think once you get to the Nether, you could make a crafting station for archaeology villagers. And this kind of promotes a unique idea that I thought of when trading with villagers. I actually just ran away from them fully, and I can't really show this off well. But Minecraft has kind of experienced trying to change villagers in a way that you can enable in your settings, where only villagers that you bring to swamp biomes have the mending trade, and a lot of people don't like that. So I have a different idea. If you could talk to a villager, and instead of this, you bring them a block that is related to their profession. So say I go wandering and I find a loyalty max is at 3, right? So I find a loyalty 3 book. I bring it to the librarian. I give it to him. He decides the cost of what it is, and then he makes it a permanent trade. And so, therefore, I have to gather for all the resources that my villager can trade for. But, in return, they will provide an infinite amount of them over time. But I have to find them first. So technically, you could make it so they give you the soul sand walking enchantment, the swift sneak enchantment, and so on. They can only find if you search for them. And this comes into my Nether archaeology idea, where if you make a crafting table, and then you bring crimson or warped oak, whichever one you prefer, or maybe even pale oak, and you craft some sort of thing with bricks or sherds on top, you can make an archaeology table where you can like color your pots and stuff like I mentioned earlier. And then a villager will become an archaeologist, and you can give them sherds. And since there are a fixed amount of sherds that you have to explore for and get, you just bring them once to a villager, they infinitely trade you that. Except it's probably going to be very costly. Lots of emeralds. But then you don't have to travel thousands and thousands of miles to find a ruin just to get one specific pottery sherd every time you use it, which is nice. It's very helpful. And it still keeps alive you travel around your Minecraft world and explore new areas, which is fun to do. In fact, over there, it's barely not on this map, but right there is a desert temple where I found those two. And I just got this idea of there could be a pottery villager, an archaeologist person who you could trade your sherds for, and you can make pots and decorate them with colors and decorate the sherds with colors, and it would be fun. Very fun. You could also add one for like the smithing templates, because oh my gosh, if you waste all your netherite upgrade templates and you have to go find a bastion again to get one and copy them, it's not fun at all. In fact, I didn't even look for my netherite template. I thought it was still the same thing where you could just put the netherite and the tool in a smithy table and you're done. But I forgot they added smithing templates. And so my boyfriend went on a 2-hour long plus adventure to find a smithing template for me, just so I can make duplicates. Anyway, that's enough of what I want in Minecraft for this segment, I think, because I think I've gone over everything I wanted to talk about, because I've talked about I want block variants with bookshelves and villager trading blocks. I wanted archaeology in the Nether and kind of revamped villagers. Oh, okay. I kind of talked about revamping structures, about like how bastions in the Nether could have suspicious soul sand and suspicious gravel and stuff. But what about like ruined or broken down pillager outposts that have scraps that you could have like a pillager one, a ruined swamp, like witch house, and the fact that they kind of create structures every so now and then for Minecraft, but they're missing some. Like there's none in the pale oak really. Unless your pale oak is right next to a dark oak and you kind of spawn a woodland mansion. Which, speaking of that, that one would be a cool ruined one to have. The desert has two structures. It has the sand well and the desert temple. The jungle has the jungle ruins. And most of the other ones are water ruins, really. Unless you find the kind of elusive above ground outing of archaeology site. But old Minecraft, there used to be a very nice village that kind of had the same layout with really big houses. And then after a couple updates, they made it into an abandoned village that kind of only appears in mountain flower biomes. I don't remember exactly what they're called, but that one I don't think has any archaeology to it, which I think it could use archaeology. And so there's just a bunch of structures that could or don't exist. Like I don't think that the mesas have any inherent structure that spawns. Pale oak doesn't. You guys probably know some biomes that also have them, especially like ice biomes. Most ice biomes I don't think have them. Like they have their own villages and things, but not archaeology sites. Anyway, now that I've talked about all of that stuff, this is our forever world. If you didn't know, I'm going to do a little segment here on this. And we've done a couple towns. This is our current project, which is a cowboy mesa town. And so you can see here, we have a little bar for all the cowboys to go drink at called the Rusty Minecart with minecarts on top. We have a sheriff's office, a saloon, and a tailor. And then we have a bank that sometimes, as I mentioned, people try to get in the vault and blow them back up. And then we have a general store right there. And the big thing about this town is the casino. I'm going to terraform this a lot more. I've only terraformed here to like right there has been terraformed. And so this is going to be half in the mountain, but this is a casino. The only thing that's not really fully fantasy in the world. And you would come in here, there'd be people behind this shell, behind the little offices to help you out. And these aren't stairs yet, but you can go up to the next floor. That's supposedly going to be a dining room. You can go out on the balcony. There's going to be like 3 or 4 floors. But I had to help my boyfriend out with this just a tad, so it works now. We followed a tutorial on YouTube and made a working slot machine. And so, as you can see, it'll get rid of all those and put those up, and then you can keep going, try your luck, you might get something good. And you can just keep doing that until you're rewarded with whatever is in this dropper right here, which is just 1 emerald currently. So it's a little sad, and this will probably move, and there'll probably be multiple, or maybe fake ones, just so there's not a lot of lag. But as you can see, slot machine. I think it's gonna be fun to have a lot of mini games here, like with the target block. You could shoot a bow and arrow to see if you can get a reward and some other things for this. But just a little update, since I haven't done an update for a while on this. This is how the mesa biome is currently going, and I've terraformed a bit of desert over here, and I've been terraforming this river in as well. It's a work in progress, and eventually down there I'm going to add a desert city, which is way more fantasy-like than the cowboy town, but there'll be some fun things. And I don't know how to, like, share the world seed and stuff with you. I honestly don't know it off the top of my head. And I don't know how to save a copy of this and post it for anyone who wants to see it. But if you're interested, I can try and figure that out. And I'm not the best at editing right now either, so yeah. But regardless, if you could like and subscribe, that would help me out a lot. And know that my little video recording hobby is enjoyed by multiple people. But I need to post this before it hits the hour mark, so I post it on time. And you can see right here the updated map. Well, actually, I think I have just enough time, it is noon, to go over here and show you the old map. Eventually there's going to be like a forgotten library that's been sunken into the desert. You can see where I finished terraforming on this side. But that sunken library, like the Great Library of Alexander, or something like that in our Minecraft world, will exist somewhere in the desert, and I think that's where we'll put the map room. But this is how the desert was before, and this is how the mesa looked before. And then you can see, like, right here, that over has been terraformed. But I don't know how to do a side-by-side comparison in the video edit, so yeah. Anyway, I hope to see you next time, or in one of my other videos that you may enjoy, and look forward to more fun content in the world map updates, if you like those. And I will see you all, well, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye!